here we go from MetLife Stadium. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. He's got a first down and more past the 30. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school, he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Ready.
Throwing, Jones. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Is that not the very definition of a tough yard game?
Now, is that one where as the receiver you go to your quarterback and say, why'd you even throw that?
Yeah, I think you do, and I think you wonder what type of a route are you going to send me on that only 1 yard's going to be the result? If I'm going to go in there and take contact, let's go and get something out of it, not just 1 yard.
A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Wide open receiver complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 34.
Check 6-6, pull it high.
Now Saquon Barkley, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Come get some. Come on.
And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check the backer, check the backer. Hey, Charlie. Mike 50.
Jones now operating from the gun. It's caught. Shepard. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Hey, Mike 50, Mike 50.
Now Jones. And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. 4 yards on the touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive,
they do a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Here's Prescott. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play for the Cowboys on 3rd. 51 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards it?
Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Hey. Mike 50, Mike 50. Get it.
On second and 11 now. Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Ready. 50 all day, dog. Hey, watch it. Check safety.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. At their own 20-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Elliott. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Well, that's one of the drawbacks of running the RPO. If those linemen go into run block mode, you can't throw it if they're more than a yard downfield.
On the set. Match by 4. We own it. We own it.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line, I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Back to throw. Jones. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Taken from just outside the 30. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. On the counter, Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Escape. Oh, Prescott stripped, and the Giants have it. It's picked up. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Rosas to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
On 1st and 10, Prescott going deep here for Watkins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Not that time for Watkins.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. On the draw, this is Barkley. And he's got room. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, 37 yards. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Rosas good with the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 17-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Check.
Now Prescott. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, standing just outside his own goal line. "51 yards on the punt there. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll go to Barkley again. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Go. Right there, 54. Right.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend, as his guys continue to pour it on. PAT up and good by Rosas, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Check tight, check tight, check tight.
Looking to throw on second down. Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. This time it's Michelle. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the gun on 3rd down, Patterson. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
47. 57. Mike, 57.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Giants will get it now at the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On second down, here's Barkley. And an alley to run. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Here we go. Go. Now.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And this will be taken at the 13. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
That one goes for 24 yards.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your number one cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down.
Here we go, 46.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
To throw again on second down. Prescott. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Prescott to throw it. And it is incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on fourth down. And the Giants are going to get the football back. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Go, 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Michel. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. 13 yards, good for a giant first down.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 36-yard line.
On the ready. Mike 50. All right. Here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go. Hey, let's get there.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Box drop. Check. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. Ready. Mike's 50, Mike. Ready.
Looking to throw. Jones. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
On 2nd and inches, Prescott. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Lorenzo Carter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 3rd and long for Prescott. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further as they get him down well short of the line to gain.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Prescott to throw on 4th. He's got his man. It's Williams. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
We're going to 54. Wide in. Crouch. Here we go, 46. 26.
Prescott from the gun. He's going to let it fly. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down.
Going to 53. What's the
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Here I come again. There we go. Kill.
Throwing on second and long. Prescott. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. One last shot now for Prescott. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So a victory here.
Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Giants, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gold.